Alright guys, what's up? So, this is like a crazy blizzard. I can't see with the snow glare, so these are going back on. These glasses are so sick. They're Ray-Ban Club Masters, and they're polarized. And I complained about this in my other video. When I put them on, I can't even see the damn screen. But anyway, it's a super crazy blizzard going on right now, so I have off from work. So I figured this will be a skinny guy vlog. I got some stuff that I'd like to show you that I didn't have in the house, so I had to run out and get it. But I'm going to show you guys my basic routine morning time, like what I do to get ready to eat. Basically, how to stay in gaining weight and stuff like that when you're skinny. So let me park up, get in the house, and I'll be back. Alright, so here I am back in the kitchen, and let's just say I just woke up, which I did, even though it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But usually, say it's like any day of the week, I'll get up at 5 a.m. First thing I'll do is I'll have my coffee, because that's like number one for getting up in the morning. I'll have my coffee, and then I'll go to my protein shake. Usually, this is the one I always take, but in the morning time, I don't like to fill myself up with this because I still want to eat. So, I'll just put 2% milk or almond milk. This is almond milk. I'll put 2 scoops, and then I'll do a little bit of water just to get it down, just to get that. Sometimes I'll even just do 2 scoops with water just to get the protein in me in the morning, because you don't want to fill up, because like if you start mixing it with milk and bananas and peanut butter and all that stuff, you won't want to eat, and you're not going to gain weight if you're just filling yourself up with liquid protein shakes. You have to eat, and you have to train. So let's just do this real quick, and I'll be right back. 2 scoops. You guys want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? One thing I definitely would recommend that you invest in when you're trying to gain weight, or get into gym, fitness, and all that stuff, is a blender. Like buying those protein milk things at Wawa or the supermarket, they're just, I don't know, they're expensive for one, and for two, that they don't have, it's just not the same as just getting a good old damn big ass thing of protein and doing it yourself. Some of this stuff is pretty nasty, but this one I like. I do like this one. So like I said, after you do your protein, like depending on what time of day it is, like after I train, the way I mix that is totally different. I'll mix it with like peanut butter, a couple scoops of, or sometimes I'll throw a banana in there, or maybe a couple of things of oatmeal. But for the morning, just to get a couple of scoops in me, just to get that protein content and that calorie buildup. 1,500 calories, 50 grams of protein. So already it's a pretty good start. After that, I'll go and take a shower, but since I already did that, I don't need to do that. But that's usually what I'll do, just to let that settle in a little bit. And then I'll come back out here. And usually by then, it's been about a half hour. So that's why it's important that you get your 8 hours of sleep, you go to bed. Like, none of this is going to make sense to you. Like a lot of guys will ask me about, well, how do you gain weight? Well, how do you eat more? Well, it starts with a full change of everything. It's not just about eating more. It's about training more, because the more you train, the more hungry you're going to get, and the more you're going to want to feed your body and your muscles when you're gaining. So not only that, but you're going to want to start going to bed early, because you have to get up earlier, because you have to feed yourself. If you think that you're going to, that's another thing too, like if you think that you're going to gain weight, or you're going to, do this without completely changing the way you think about everything, like if you're a type of guy that likes to stay out late, or have a couple of drinks with the boys on a Wednesday night, or whatever it is that you do, you have to be fully dedicated to this if you want to really actually do it. And it's not just like here and there. It's got to be every day, and it's got to be a routine. You know what I mean? You got to get that. Once you get into it, once you start seeing a difference, you'll start wanting to do it more, and you'll get more active into it. But so I go to sleep about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. By 5:30, I'm making breakfast. It doesn't take long to make breakfast. So that's the thing. Like you're gonna have to learn how to cook. You're gonna have to learn how to feed yourself if you live at home with your parents. Whatever it is, whatever your case is, I don't know. It's none of my business, and I'm not here to judge. I don't care. But whatever it is, you're gonna have to learn how to cook. You're gonna have to learn how to feed yourself, because going to out to eat or get something to eat at Wawa or the supermarket or whatever every single time you're hungry, one, it's a waste of your valuable time, which you do not have a lot of, especially during that 24 hours in a day, and 8 of it you're sleeping, which you need that 8 hours. Now sometimes I only get like 7.5, but that's good enough. I'd say nothing less than 6.5, 7 hours that's like absolute. 4 hours of sleep, it's just not going to cut it for when you're doing this kind of work and working out and stuff like that. You're just going to need that sleep. Plus, you're going to feel better and healthier anyway. It all kind of falls in line with itself. So you're going to have to learn how to feed yourself. You're going to have to learn how to cook. And breakfast is the one thing, if you're going to try to gain, that you're going to want to do, because it's going to build that energy throughout the day. So you're going to, as soon as you wake up, about that half hour, because I do that, take your shower, 10-minute cold shower, just to wake up, you know what I mean? No hot showers, cold showers are better. I know it sucks, but once you start doing it, believe me, you'll never get a hot shower in the morning again, cold shower in the morning. I'm not talking about freezing cold, but, cold enough, a little bit of heat's okay, but like a cold shower, like, you know what I mean? Not lukewarm, it's got to still be cold. Remember that, try it once, I'm telling you. Anyway, you want to fill yourself with some fatty breakfast. You know what I mean? Now, if you're trying to lose weight, that's something I don't really know a whole lot about, but I know you're going to want to cut out a lot of sugars and stuff like that. So, like using different eggs and milks and stuff like that, you got to watch, because sugar has milk in it. Milk has sugar in it. Anyway, guys, you know what I mean. But we're trying to gain weight here, so it's all about just eating anything, everything and anything, but well too. So what we're going to do for breakfast is, and I do this a lot actually, sometimes I'll just do egg whites and run out of the house, but today, since we have some time, I'll do like a Sunday morning breakfast type of deal. So we'll add some sausage links and some potatoes, and sometimes I'll crack open the eggs and just use regular eggs, but most times I just like to use the all egg whites or egg beaters, because it gets gross after a little while. Now, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, why do you use that? That's, they don't have the same stuff in it. Actually, it has more. If you want to figure out how much that is a waste of, that's actually a waste. You're not wasting anything here, and it has the same amount. I mean, there's zero. If you look down the facts, there's no waste, and it's got 5 grams of protein, and this is all. You're not wasting anything. Same with this. So, I'll just mix these two in the pan. But anyway, first, I am going to cook the meat, because that's what takes the longest. And now I'm going to throw the potatoes in, then do the egg whites real quick, and then I just kind of mix it all together and make it kind of like a, I don't know, big mess of food. We'll see. Sausage links are done. I'll just hang out with these for a minute. Okay, so while the potatoes are cooking, I just usually just munch on the sausage links anyway. Why? The potatoes are going. If I don't eat them all by the time they're done, I'll just throw them in there. But anyway, potatoes will be done in a minute. I made a lot because I'll probably eat this for lunch too. So always remember, like, if you're gonna do meal prepping, especially like if you're gonna make breakfast, sometimes I'll make enough so I can have a lunch with it too, which isn't a bad thing because you're just gonna eat everything. There's no specific thing you have to eat for lunch. When you're trying to gain weight, you're just gonna eat everything and anything, just as long as it's high protein and you know, you're getting all your nutrition. So make sure you have vegetables. Like, always want to like get some broccoli, you know, stuff like that with high nutrient stuff. Tuna fish is good. Tuna sandwiches for lunch or just right out of the damn bag. Sometimes I'll eat it. But like, if you're gonna try to gain weight, I kind of stay away from like fast food. I mean, once in a while, I guess it's okay, but it's just gonna cost too much money. And like I was trying to say before, you just don't have the time for it. Because time is just something a lot of us don't have a lot of. So you want to try to have as much time to, you know, do the training and everything else, you know. So you don't want to really be wasting time, you know. Well, I got to go to McDonald's and eat, and that, you know, that could take 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then what's the point of wasting all that time to do that, and then it's not even really doing anything as far as getting you in the gains that you want. It's not there's no nutritional facts in it. There's nothing that's going to help you get bigger. It might get your cholesterol through the roof, and it might actually add fat to your skinny body, but it's only short term. So you're going to burn that stuff off well before you burn off a good healthy breakfast or meal that you ate. So anyway, what I was saying about meal prepping is if you're going to actually cook something on a Sunday, cook for 3 days. Like I like to do everything on a Sunday and just have at least 3 days of whatever it is. So if you're going to actually spend an hour and a half cooking, then you might as well make a lot of it and then put it aside in the fridge because it's just easier. Like, so then you're actually saving time. Then you'll have more time to train. You'll have more time to spend with somebody you love or whatever else you're trying to do, which is also important for building a healthy lifestyle and gaining weight and everything else. Because if you're not spending time with people, or you're depressed or whatever, and things just aren't working out, it's all gonna fall in line like that. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to just try to get, when you start getting in shape and you start building, you're going to start feeling better about yourself. So you might as well use all that to your advantage. So it's not going to work if you're not 100% dedicated. So anyway, that's all I'm trying to say. Also, beverage of choice for breakfast time, orange juice. Even if I always water it down because I don't like the thickness of it. So I usually just take a little bit, or instead of wasting the orange juice, I just put a little bit in the cup and then some water from whatever water I have from the night before that I keep by my nightstand. I just dump the rest of that in there because I never drink the whole thing at night. But orange juice, good. It's a good thing to have instead of like whatever you're probably drinking in the morning, your beverage of choice, especially if it's just coffee. I mean, coffee isn't the best for you because of the sugars and everything else. But, you know, we all drink it, whatever, is what it is. But try to get in the habit of getting some kind of juice in you in the morning. And actually, if you want to start doing research on juicing, which is another thing that's pretty big in the, you know, gaining community and fitness community, and that's like when you get like apples and like fresh fresh lettuce and spinach and stuff like that, and you put it in a blender and you mix it all together and you have ice and I guess a little bit of water. I don't know how you make it a liquid, but I don't juice. But I just want something I'm gonna start researching and getting into, and I'll show you guys that because definitely looks like something that's pretty interesting. The potatoes are just about finished. Now I'm gonna go and put my eggs in. Now I could add. I only have one frying pan. My other one, it was really bad, so I have to get a new one. But usually I'll have 2 frying pans going, but today it's an exception. So yeah, the potatoes. I always just add a little bit of salt and some pepper. You can add like actual peppers or whatever you want in there, and you can make an omelet, whatever. I just kind of like to mix it all. It's up to you guys. It doesn't really have to be anything crazy, or it doesn't have to be like orchestrated all perfectly. Just freaking make it and eat it. Alright, so there you have it, guys. There is pretty hefty breakfast for a morning time. Not all the time will it be this big, but since I'm home, it's more like a Sunday breakfast. But every day I will have egg whites and a couple of sausage links or something like that. Sometimes I won't add the potatoes all the time, but if you do have extra time, like a Sunday, and you have some extra time to make it nice and big, I'm gonna eat this, and then we're gonna do some training. And this is all. By the way, this is really good. One thing I did forget to show you guys. Once in a while, probably like every other day or so, I'll slam one of these down in the car on the way to work. I won't substitute this for eating because I always make sure I eat first, which I just housed that whole plate of what I had, and then I'll drink one of these as well. That'll help. Okay, so while I'm letting now the food digest, because it's gonna need it, we're gonna sit down for a minute here. Sorry about that. And go over what we're gonna train. So, since today it's bad out, I don't have time to go to the gym. Well, I probably could get there, but it's just too freaking bad out, and I don't feel like getting stuck. So, I would recommend, if you don't have weights at home, get some dumbbells. But you don't have to get like a full crazy set. You can find them on eBay, Dick's, Sporting Goods stores, or whatever. Just get a 10 pound, a 20 pound, and maybe like a 25, a 15 pound. Some dumbbells. If you could find a used bench, get one too. But if you don't have them and all you're doing is the gym, then that's just what you got to do. But I would definitely recommend in getting, if anything, too, one of them pull-up things that you can put in your door thing, and some push-up bars. I don't have them because I just use my dumbbells. But anyway, today we're gonna do. So at the gym, I don't have this issue because there's a full array of whatever I need and whatever I have access to. Let me adjust this camera because I'm out of the frame and that drives me crazy. Okay, it's better. So at the gym, I don't really have the issue of, well, it's not really an issue. What am I trying to say? It's more like when I'm at home working out, I try to work out what I lack the most. The things that I lack the most are my arms and my shoulders. So when I'm at home working out, that's what I like to do the most. There's no point for me to do chest here because I don't really have the equipment to do chest. But I do have dumbbells, so I can do arms and I can do shoulders. What a lot of people make the mistake of is they try to go so heavy on shoulders. That is a bad way to go. You want to try to keep constant tension on your shoulders, and you want to try to build that mind-muscle connection. If you're in there trying to crank up heavy weight, what you're doing is You're using some of your back to cheat. You're using some of your upper pec to cheat and get that muscle up when it's too heavy. So when it's a lightweight, these are just 15 pounds. You know, you can just, and these are even too heavy. But, you know, and you don't want to go all the way down. You just want to stop right about there and keep that tension on that side shoulder, the exterior, I think it's called the exterior delta, I'm not sure. This muscle. So I rarely work out the front part of my shoulder. Like that would be like movements like this and all. I don't ever really do those. I always do my rear delts and my exterior. Like, because when you do chest workouts or anything, or your lateral shoulder press, when you're doing lateral, yeah, well, what is it, lateral? I guess. Anyway, when you're doing your shoulder presses, you're kind of doing that too. So I don't really do a whole lot of exercises that they're like, you know, going like this. So you're like, a lot of people lack in this part of the shoulder. So anyway, to start off, just gonna do 3 sets or 4. Actually, I like to do with 10-pound weights. So, but anyway, so since I only have 15s, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 and just go. Don't come all the way down. See how I'm stopping? Keep constant tension on the shoulder. Alright, do 3 sets of 10. Second set. Alright, now we're going to do rear delt. For this exercise, keep it light again. Alright, just going to go, you're going to bend down, and you're just going to go like this. Make sure you're feeling it just in that rear delt, right here. Boom, that's it. You're not flying out like this, because then you're going to start hitting that back part, and you just want to hit that rear delt. That's the muscle. Remember, you're going light so you can build a mind-muscle connection. You know what I mean? You're not trying to lift up and crank heavy weights. That's not really the point of this exercise. And that's not really how you want to lift weights anyway. If you're not focusing on the muscle that you're trying to build, like if you're doing chest, if you're trying to crank up heavy weight, you're using your bicep, back of your shoulder blades, you're pinching to, and like all these other muscles. All you want to do is flex your chest, and that's what's going to build your chest. You know what I mean? That mind-muscle connection is so important. When you do a lighter weight, that's how you're going to make that happen. It's about making that muscle work. It's not about cranking this heavy, crazy weights up to see who's got the biggest balls in the gym. 1, you're at home so nobody can watch and see anyway. 2, it's just pointless to do that. You're going to have to leave that ego, grab a lightweight. And I can't tell you how many guys look at me in the gym like, dude, look at the size of this kid. And look at that, look at how his tone is, but he's in there doing just a 10 pound, 15 pounds, because I'm building the actual muscle, and that's the only muscle that I'm focusing on. So anyway, 15s, I like to do 10s with these, but again, I don't have 10, so these are good enough. Now, I've been doing 10s for a while, so it's not bad for me to switch it up 5 pounds, so. And believe me, 15 is heavy enough. So do 3 sets of that, of 10. Or if you're going real light, go to 15. If you're doing 5 pound 7.5s or 10s, go to a 15 rep. Do that, and I'll be back. Wristwatch check. Seiko big numbered gadgetry. Look at that beautiful snowstorm. Pretty awesome, huh? Figured I'd open up the blinds and crank out some weights. Let all the neighbors see the gains. Last set. Yeah. One more. Yeah. Whew. You should be able to feel it by now, even with a light weight. Alright, next. 90-second break, or a little less, maybe 1:30. Okay, but next we're going to do the shoulder press. Now, some guys like to do the shoulder press with the chair up, supporting their back. I don't like to do this. I just like to do it standing straight up and just keep the light weight. Now, if I was using a heavier weight, like a 50-pounder or, you know, something like that, then yeah. But for this workout, where I just want to focus on that shoulder press, keep them elbows out wide. Okay, I'm not coming in, not doing this, not doing nothing like this. You know, a wide angle, up. Don't have to bang the weights at the top, bring them in close, and come down to the 90. And boom, okay, and get that connection with that upper part of your shoulder. It's also going to build the outer. I don't know the exact names, my bad. I'm just telling you guys, this is what works for me. So, here we go. Throw them up with your knees, out wide, and up. You don't have to bang them, but I just did. Okay, first set 15, next set go a little bit heavier and do 3 sets of 10, and then do one more set of 15 back to the 25s. Okay, but for the next 2 sets of 10, we're going to crank it up to 35 pounds. Alright. Okay, another set, 35s, out wide, no. Okay, last set. Grab them 20s or 25s, whatever. I'm going 20s. A little bit lighter, and to max it out, 15s. Fuck. Yeah, it's gonna burn. If you can do more than 15 after that, you're doing it wrong. Okay, next exercise. Last exercise on shoulders. We're gonna switch to arms. Grab a 35. It's the heaviest I have here. Gonna grab them. Gonna bend down slightly, and I'm gonna shrug.
All right, 20 reps. Squeeze at the top for 1 second. 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. The reason I'm bending down like that, okay, because instead of putting up to my ears like that and using all this area, I'm just focusing on back here. All right, my trap. Bend down. 1. You'll feel it in the trap. 1. Yeah. So if you're like this, you know, you're doing the same, but it's more hitting your neck, going straight in your neck. So I like to keep it bent down. Just hit that trap. I have a Band-Aid here because I'm working on a truck door and I got up and I fucking whacked myself and ripped myself open. 3 sets of 20. Okay? So do that, we'll be back. Last set. Alright, back. 2. After that, your shoulder should be pretty depleted, to say the least. Okay. So that's about it for the shoulder exercise. And what we're going to do next is arms. We're not going to do a lot of them, but I'm also going to do them in another video, not this one. Because this video is just about 32 minutes long, and I want people to watch it. If it says it's 40 minutes long or whatever, that's just too long. So anyway, 30 minutes is cutting it. So we're going to do it part 2. If you're interested in the arm workout of this, then you'll find it. Just look for the part 2 of the morning routine or snow day routine, or however I label it, you'll be able to find it. But I'll see you guys there, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And we'll talk a little bit more about that one at the end of stuff like that. So your shoulder should be very